There's Max, the one who's always putting the window down. There's Connie. We're leaving our drop in Morristown. We gotta head down to Sweetwater. I don't know if we're gonna get any good views, but we're gonna try. So it's still Wednesday. It's about 10 o'clock. For those of you that don't know, my dogs appreciated the new vehicle that I got because it's smaller than the Highlander I used to have, but as far as the room goes for the dogs, because the second row was captain's chairs in that vehicle, my Mazda CX-50 has more room when you drop the rear seat down. I can sleep back there. There's room for the dogs. They can bring their heads right up by me while I'm driving. They like looking out the windshield. They're right there next to me. They can lay down in the back, walk around, look out windows. Well, they were back there for a week. They're used to being with me every day and sticking their heads out the window like we just saw. And I think they're glad to be back in the truck, getting some adventure and being able to smell smells and stick their head out the window. And close to 80 down here, and the grass is really supposed to start growing. It's like, shit, man, my lawn needs to be mowed in 1 week. Lawn mowing people come every 2 weeks. Highway 160 that we're on. We're going to get get on 66 here, head back to the interstate. Maybe we'll get a view of the mountains. I don't know. Squatted truck. Those are illegal in most places. That poor Toyota. Of course, it's just a Toyota now. That's not one of the new turbos, but I've lost a lot of faith and respect for Toyota. So I've got a Mazda. Toyota used to make stuff. And Mazda's own, or Toyota has like a 7% interest in Mazda now. So they'll probably mess that up too. But simple 4-cylinder engine with an automatic transmission, all-wheel drive. It's an excellent all-wheel drive system. And the simplicity of a normal 6-speed automatic and a 4-cylinder engine, no turbo, no, shoot, I wouldn't have direct injection and all the other stuff if I didn't have to. But pretty much all engines are made that way, so. Whatever they did it right. Between bucking a 20-mile-an-hour wind on the high plains in South Dakota, where you're the tallest thing around, and bucking that at 80 miles an hour, plus the rest of the drive all the way down to Knoxville, 1,200 miles, and going through mountains and hills and all kinds of different terrain. So a bit of everything. I averaged over 30 miles to the gallon, and the EPA is 31 on the highway. And they don't do it with a load on. I had 2 dogs and all my gear, and their gear, food, poles, bedding, and whatever. So yeah, I was really happy. I wish these clouds weren't around. You could see those mountains in the clouds there a little better.
Reduce speed.
It says 55, I'm doing 55. Not even.
Reduce speed. Reduce speed. Reduce speed.
Got to see a little mountains. stop. And now you're just rolling down the window and you ain't even sticking your head out. What's the deal? You just like affecting your surroundings? You just rolling it down because you're showing off? Shoot, we missed a pull-through spot. Get in there, boy, and tear your door off. Boy. Alright, let's get a cup of coffee. I brought a thermos, so there's no reason for me to be going in and getting coffee. I just need a place to park while I'm getting coffee. pause this and I don't know if it's going to come back on. Because I need the little boy's room. The place I was at didn't allow you to use it. There we go, we're playing again. And give my mom a wave. And a hi and hello, how do you do to everybody else. Might as well roll the damn window down. Dogs are gonna do that. These pilots around the Knoxville area, at least, will have the Amish come in and they had set up a table with baked goods. I mean, little things of banana bread, pound cake, and big cookies, and oh man, brownies and cakes and all kinds of stuff. Like a lunch table full of them. Small lunch table. And I was good. I didn't get any. Except I got some chocolate chip cookies from the grocery store here, so I'm gonna have those with my coffee. But 2 of those ain't as big as one of them giant ones from here. If you're in the area and you see all these goods in plastic wrap and stuff sitting on a table, those are from the Amish, and they're really good. They got snickerdoodle cookies, and oh man, chocolate chips are good, carrot cake, all kinds of stuff. Now, what we gotta do is run down to Sweetwater, down I-75. So we gotta go through Knoxville, go back the way we came, go through Knoxville, go to the 40-75 split, head south towards Chattanooga, and on the way there, to, well before Athens is Sweetwater. Sweetwater is the home of the, I think, North America's largest underground lake. It had to be even bigger and be the world's biggest underground lake, except part of it, the opening to it is not structurally sound enough to do tours through there. They got fish swimming down in there. It's a pretty cool trip. They call it the Lost Sea. Look up the Lost Sea, Sweetwater, Tennessee. You'll see a website. mirror. See if I can pass that old Dominion truck. Max was in the way. That's what made me get a little left. Here we're coming up to the 4081 split in 2 miles. That's what that sign was. Take the left and go through Asheville. You'll go through the Pigeon River Gorge. That's where there was a whole bunch of hurricane damage. And it took out I-40 completely. It was completely shut down. I don't know if they're still up, but I had some videos up going right through there, showing what it's like now after they've got it opened up. One lane. One lane each way. No wide loads. Okay. Some asshole decided he's going to floor it. When I hit my turn signal. He's still not getting anywhere any faster than he would have if I got in front of him. Now it's like what? 1001, 1002, 1003. 3 seconds. You're going to lose that the first damn stop sign he hits. Almost cause a wreck for 3 seconds. This here was on the other video, the one I posted this morning. It's just about 3 hours later, and we're going the other way. So here's mile marker 420. They get smaller as you go west. The numbers do. Exit 407 is the main road that leads up to Gatlinburg and Dollywood and all that. Sevierville is the first town you come to. I like Smoky Mountain Knife Works right there. But the biggest Buc-ee's in the country is right on that exit when you get there. So if you got to think for Buc-ee's, whereas the guy who did the review, he started at that Buc-ee's when it was under construction. He went all the way to the grand opening of the one in was it Crossville, Tennessee. He kept calling it Busey's. It was Busey's. The guy was internet famous. I talked to a state trooper in Missouri, St. Louis, outside of St. Louis, and he was going on, oh yeah, you're from Tennessee. Yeah, that dude, Busey's. That's how I found out he was famous all over the place. Look up a Buc-ee's review. You'll see the guy. some local radio personality, morning, not shock jock, but morning guy, who lives in Dandridge right here. Track of how long a commute he has and see if it's longer than mine. I don't like the length of my commute. My videos may get more boring because if I can't change the commute, I can change the mileage, the gas mileage. I gotta get a fence built for the ducks so I can ride my motorcycle to work and leave them at home. Scenic parts of this trip. I don't think I-75 is all that scenic. Yeah, there's a Buc-ee's billboard, exit 407. Woohoo! Well, that's something to see. That's the best thing we got to show y'all. I don't know if I can stand the excitement. is nice to be back here and be on the road and seeing even these little, you know, like this little valley we're in with the trees and everything.
speed.
any of y'all been to South Dakota, but you don't have anything visual like this. You got wide open spaces. But it's all either plowed, planted, or prairie. If it's not plowed, planted, and prairie, it's a gravel road, which is probably 80% of the roads in the state, maybe 70. Then you'll have cattle on prairie stuff, and whatever's not prairie, hayland, plowed or planted has got farm buildings on it. You know, that's the whole prairie is either road, farm buildings, or planted. You know, I mean, it's different, but I don't consider it pretty, except for all the blue sky you can see when that gets old. It's kind of like being on the ocean. So it's good to be back here. For those of you that don't know, I went to a funeral in South Dakota of his family. I remember my dad passed away. He said one time, his advice to people playing video games and stuff was, one day you're going to meet God, and he's going to say, I gave you all this beauty on the earth. Why didn't you go out and enjoy it? And after I moved down here, that philosophy influenced me somewhat as to picking trucking as a job. That and there was several factors, but that was one of them. The adventure, go out and see. He was a naval aviator. He had a lot of adventure. There's past pro shops up over there and a Harley dealer if you ever need another reason to come here. Don't be thinking that, it's all Dollywood just for the kids and stuff. Smoky Mountain Knife Works is the world's largest knife room, or knife store. And I mean, if it cuts, kills, carves, or maims, they got it. They got stuff from fantasy swords to fancy kitchen culinary stuff. Everything in between. I mean, like 3 floors of stuff. Bud's gun shop is right near there. Trust me, there's guy stuff to do here. And what I said about Smoky Mountain Knife Works is not a slogan for them. That's just how I describe it from my own experience. running empty. Of course, you know that. So I don't get a whole lot of speed downhill. Had to get in the right lane as we started going downhill because there's a semi behind me. And in case he's loaded, you know, he could hit probably 80 easy with me out of the way. If he was loaded fully. But, the way he's taking his time, I don't think he is. And there's no trucks left lane next 35 miles. Don't pay that no mind. That's just a suggested maneuver. He is faster than me, a little. So, I mean, I did the right thing. Have a load on. I have no idea why he didn't pass me faster. But we're going up a little bit of hill. He's losing speed because his load. So we're going to play leapfrog. Governed at 75 or 70 miles an hour. I know I am. Nope, he's creeping up on me. He really shouldn't be doing that. He should be slowing down and getting behind me because of this truck on the side of the road. He's kind of being stupid. All out of pride. there's an unmarked state trooper. Notice that that SUV has no rails on the top of it. You know, for putting luggage racks across. Why would they need them? It's one of the ways you can spot those. Besides the plain Jane hubcaps and all the other stuff from the side, from the front and the back, you can see no rails. That is definitely a government issue. TBI Knoxville and Tennessee Highway Patrol headquarters. Yeah, that's all right here at this next exit. We call it straw planes. Strawberry planes. Oh, everybody's checking up. Was it construction or was it crunching? See how wide the tires are on that thing? I don't know if you can see the plain Jane wheels. I don't want to be obvious with the camera and move it. I mean, well, I'm in his blind spot. Wide ass tires, NASCAR wheels. No rails. See that funny antenna on the top too? Bet you that's a camera, that round one in the middle. It says Tennessee Government Services on it, but yeah. And of course, the light on the side by the mirrors, no big giveaway. Notice he doesn't have his lid for his gas tank shut all the way. All right, Max. Stick your head out. Howdy, is that a critter? Tell Connie there's a critter. She's off the bed, head out the window. Brakes were a little grabby. About threw Max off the seat. Connie's got more experience. She was all right. She's sitting on the front of the seat. Head out the window. Well, all right. The joys of trucking. I didn't realize it had almost been an hour. It's like 45 minutes, 48 minutes, somewhere in there. And this ain't nothing to look at. So, that's what Joe sees.